Hello everyone, I'm Michael Simmons, a volunteer for Severson Dells Nature Center, and I'm so glad to welcome you here for Breakfast in Bed for the Dells. We are at the entrance to the Nature Center, a place where many of you have begun your journeys of exploration and excitement at the beauties of nature and this place. It's also the place where many of us volunteers and staff first meet groups of children from local elementary schools who come here to spend a day at the Dells. And I can't tell you how wonderful it is to see them come bouncing off the bus, chittering and chattering, making all kinds of noise, just filled to overflowing with energy, or perhaps being very quiet, introspective, and wondering what's going to happen now. So let's head to the Nature Center and learn more. Like me, many of you have crossed this porch, headed into the Nature Center, and perhaps you've stopped to take a look at some of these stones inscribed with the names of loved ones honored by donors to Severson Dells Nature Center. The sons of my wife, Laura McClelland, are here, Donovan McClelland and Connor McClelland, along with the names of the 8 other grandchildren of Betty and Lowell Edwards. My family's involvement with Severson Dells Nature Center began decades ago when Lowell and Betty Edwards crossed the same porch on their way in to volunteer, Lowell as one of the work crew out in the woods, well into his 80s, and Betty as a greeter at the front desk. Let's go inside and see what happens there. This is the big and currently very empty education room where we celebrated Betty Edwards' life, and more importantly, where we celebrate the life of the planet around us, with children and adults of all ages. It's the place where our talented staff gathers volunteers like me to train us in the marvelous programs that they have designed to help us learn more about the natural environment and how to take care of it. I'm sitting now in my favorite room in the Nature Center. It's the old library, which has become primarily a bird viewing room, a place that I love to bring groups of children to instruct them in the use of these fantastic binoculars that were purchased for them. They're in all different colors. I love to instruct them on the use of them, particularly teaching them how to follow the movements of the many birds that gather on the feeders outside these windows, along with the occasional squirrel or chipmunk like the one I see out here right now. These feeders and the maintenance of them are provided by volunteers in the Severson community, and they really are quite spectacular. It's just such a quiet and comfortable place, except of course when it's filled with children who are so excited to watch the birds. Even before Laura and I began volunteering at Severson Dells Nature Center, her parents, Lowell and Betty Edwards, were followed here by their 2 grandsons, Donovan and Connor, who came for many summers to camp at Severson Dells. Connor is now an AmeriCorps volunteer based here at the Dells, but working for the Natural Land Institute in this area. He is entering his senior year now as an environmental science and secondary education major at Knox College, and he is a great booster for the work that we do at Severson Dells Nature Center. Here at the entrance to the paved walking path is where we often like to begin our nature walks for children here from their schools for a day. And I like to begin by reminding them that they have each brought special abilities for learning about nature. That is, their 5 senses: sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. We're here at the pond now, one of my favorite places for teaching and learning, perhaps because the still water and all the plant life in it reminds me of my native Louisiana. It has a kind of swampy feel about it. The children, of course, love to come here because on the days that we do water studies, they're able to get into the water, dig into the mud with their nets and sometimes with their hands, and really get up close and personal with nature. I'm standing here in the Grove, one of the places that the children enjoy the most, whether they're here for a camp or just a day outing. The Grove is a great place of creativity, of openness, of exploration, of inspiration, as the log inscription says over here just behind me, and a place for people of all ages. So the Grove has been one of those many parts of the Severson Dells Nature Center and Severson Dells Forest Preserve that has been important in the life of my family. Just a couple of summers ago, my daughter Amanda and her new cousin Stephanie were here with 5 of the Edwards' great-grandchildren. And our granddaughter Maria, one of them, just this summer came to her first summer camp. At the beginning of the week, she was staying with us because we lived nearby. She wouldn't even put her toe in the creek on our property. But after being at camp here for a few days, she just ran with glee into the water, splashing and calling to the dogs to come and join her. Lives are changed by the experiences that we share here at Severson Dells Nature Center. My life was changed when Lowell and Betty Edwards encouraged me to become a volunteer and encouraged Laura and me to become supporters of the programs here. Well, here we are back at the beginning of our story. It's open because people like Betty and Lowell Edwards, many of you watching today, and some of those who invited you to join us, were committed to making this the place that it is, committed to making the programs we have here the programs that help us to learn and grow. I hope you've gotten the idea that transformation is a multi-generational process here at Severson Dells Nature Center. It began when the Severson family entrusted this beautiful property to the Winnebago County Forest Preserve District as a place for children, youth, and adults of all ages to continue growing, to continue learning about the natural environment that is so important to our lives. But for that transformative work to continue, we need your support. We need your involvement, and we need your financial gifts today, in the year ahead. So please, make a gift today. Make a pledge today for the year to come to give quarterly or monthly or whatever way works best for you. Make a gift today, a commitment to include Severson Dells Nature Center in your estate plan. We have skilled professionals, highly trained and experienced, ready to volunteer their time to help you in making those plans. And today, every dollar you give or pledge will be matched dollar for dollar through the generosity of the Severson family and other friends of Severson Dells Nature Center, up to $25,000. Your gifts will continue the transformative work. Your commitment can be a part of a multi-generational commitment of people stretching back decades and going into the future. Your participation in the work we do today can help transform lives of children, youth, and adults every single day. Thank you for those who have already given, and thank you to those of you who will make that commitment now.